All right, check it out. It's Joey. If y'all don't know, you better ask somebody. For most people that know me, most people know me by Snow Rock. So check this out. We gonna go back. So this is when I was in Corcoran. This is between 1992 and 1994. I think it was more like 1993. And I had been in Corcoran for a while. I had already, got into an altercation with the police, and they beat the mess out of me. If you know what I'm saying, haven't heard that story, go back and check it out. That's Corcoran 1992. The videos in my on my channel. So there was there was a situation where I had been on the yard, for a while. There was another white Crip, and he had came, and he was only there for a little while, and the whites tried to get him, but he was from Sacramento. So I already told that story. So this was about my neighbors. So now my neighbors, my Marcelli is the big homie Guy. So Guy is a monster, swole. You know what I'm saying? Big old giant. You know what I mean? So Guy is a porter. So Guy keeps our cell door cracked open. You know what I mean? So he can come in and out. So I'm up in there all the time, and I'm always watching because the door's open. But I know guys out there, and the homie ain't gonna let nobody run up in the cell on me. So we already have things planned out, whatever, if the white boys try, because that's like something you gotta expect, you gotta be ready for, you gotta plan for. So that's the thing, I had a knife, and this at this time, I was carrying a knife because, better be caught with it than without it. You know what I mean? If you run up and try and get me, I'm gonna stab the shit out of you. And I don't want to, but I'm gonna survive. That's my whole thing is I'm going to survive. So it was rough and rugged. And I was, I was ready for it. Whatever it is, let's go. And so I was up in there, and our next door neighbors was from rolling 60s. So it was Popeye from 60s and Hatchet. Yeah. So now we knew, they hood, we hood. So they keep their knives on the steps. Now when they come through with metal detectors and they check stuff, and the steps are made out of metal. You can't check them. You can only eyeball and look. So we had, some steel under the steps, and we lived under the steps. So that was our cell. Like, I think we was in 123. No, more like, was it? Yeah, like 123 by the shower, by the B section shower. And Popeye and Hatchet were in the cell next to us. And and then Popeye, he was a porter on another shift, on third watch. So my cellie, he was a porter in the mornings. Popeye was a porter in the evening. You know what I mean? Third watch. So Hatchet, keep calling Hatchet Popeye. So Popeye cracked a CO. And it was a white brow blonde bitch, but she would be up in the office on the phone crying, going through shit with her dude or whatever, some motherfuckers see opportunity. But this bitch, she weak minded, and look, man, if you in Corcoran, you better be ready for the mental game, because there's always a chess game going on when everybody else is, is playing marbles. So you got to watch the pieces and see what's moving and see what's going on. At the time, I didn't know. I was, I was blind. I was, learning. And, I had my sponges out. I was soaking up game. So I'm watching everything, and I learned, that you don't fuck with them police. I had already, had the brakes beat off of me when I first got here. And I told you about that one. But this, this was different, because the police, that's the thing. Every situation where an inmate, is, there's been situations where, I know of female correctional officers that was selling pussy in prison. If you got cash money, you know what I mean, and cash money ain't hard to get. You know what I mean? It's a lot goes on that, people don't know about. I always wonder what the police do when they catch motherfuckers with they would catch motherfuckers money. Because I used to, you know what I'm saying, I used to keep money in my photo album. You know what I mean? The police did never fuck with it, you know what I mean? And my shit, you know what I'm saying, was stashed pretty good. But yeah, you know what I'm saying, it was I seen a lot. And it was all pigs, some of them just doing their job, some of them just trying to get a check, some of them just there, you know what I mean, to pay the bills. You got to pay the bills somehow. So I ain't got no problem with them. You know what I mean? I have problems with the ones that were always going trying to go above and beyond, doing more than they had to do to make my life bad. You know what I mean? I'm doing everything I can to make life as good as possible. I'm already in prison. What do I got to lose? You know what I mean? So I'm already, you know what I'm saying, expecting to die. You know what I mean? I'm expecting the whites, the Nazi lowriders, and you know what I'm saying, and the Aryan Brotherhood. I'm expecting them to kill me. That was what I really expected when I was, you know what I'm saying, locked up in prison with all that time. I didn't expect to survive. But anyway, back to Popeye. Popeye, you know what I'm saying, he cracks the bride, you know what I mean? So he sees her crying and talks to her and catches her, you know what I'm saying, at vulnerable spots and eases in. And next thing you know, he's trying to, you know what I'm saying, now next thing you know what I'm saying, Hatchet, you know what I'm saying, is running his mouth. And he's talking too much. And you know what I'm saying? I didn't understand what was going on at the time, you know what I'm saying? But he's bragging, you know what I'm saying, popping that collar, you know what I mean, doing his thing, clowning. But that shit got him caught up. Him and his celly, you know what I mean? I don't remember what happened because they went away. And when they went away, it was bad because the police in Corcoran, you know what I'm saying, can make you disappear. There's a whole bunch of people that didn't make it out of Corcoran. You can check the record, go back, look at the file, don't go by what I say. Check it. All my shit, you know what I'm saying, you can check it. Check the record. Don't go by what I say. I say that all the time. So anyway, Hatchet and Popeye, we went to chow. Now I'm telling you, I know where their knife is. It's under the stairs. Theirs is next to ours. You know what I mean? So when this happened, the police go up in their cell and they find the knife. They set him up. They slid that shit in there. They found it in a. They said it was in a what is it? What they call it? Jap flaps, the little Chinese concrete karate shoes. It was in one of them under the bed. They slid that shit under the door, man. The pigs will set you up. They dirty. This is Goon Squad, you know what I mean? So we go out to chow. We come back. And now they coming up in Popeye shit, you know what I mean? So we next door like, what the fuck? Thinking they gonna come up in here, you know what I mean? So we getting ready. But later on down the line, we find out that's what it was. The cops had got word that he was fucking with that lady cop. Can't fuck with the police, you know what I mean? It's bad. So I don't know what happened to Popeye and Hatchet, you know what I mean? You still out there, Popeye, Hatchet, you know what I'm saying? Keep kicking C's, Key. Man, rolling. Man, that was a long time ago. That was 1993 in Corcoran, on the Sea Yard. Man. So, yeah, think about that. You know what I mean? Because it's the worst part of being in prison is the mental fuckery that goes on. It's so much BS, and it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? I've seen staff instigate racial unrest, racial riots in prison. I've seen it.